Hey, YouTubers, Tazman here, bringing you another episode of Tazman Plays AI Dungeon. Teaches AI Dungeon? I still don't know, and this is a third back-to-back. I just wanted to hurry and cover these basic things, and then we jump into maybe with an actual title of this. So in our first episode, we learned about the site. In our last episode, we learned a lot of confusing stuff, and I can't apologize enough that I kind of sound scatterbrained, because just even getting you're going to understand in a minute, because we're going to talk about tokens the best I know how, and you're going to understand that it's confusing as all get out, and I honestly have no idea how these numbers turn into things that the AI understands as being a story, and how it knows to send what numbers back, that once the website then or whatever is able to make sense of. And I want to say that'll all make sense in a minute, but it really won't. So we talked about how to take a turn, continue, retry, our different options we have. I wanted to also point out that if you do notice that there's just little things that the AI is getting wrong as your story progresses, like I had one where, because I was deep underground, kind of an underdarky type place, and I was in a giant forest, and the AI at one point kind of forgot that the forest was underground and started talking about the sun. So what I did was I just came up here, I clicked on edit, and I erased the part saying the sun and changed it to, the bioluminescent algae on the ceiling of the cave. And it seemed to actually then pick up from there. So when we click our continue or our take action, from what I understand, it actually comes up and it looks at your plot. It will then look at what was said and the prior to what was said, and then it will also look at what you're actually doing or what your next choice was. If it's continue, it kind of stops there. But if I take an action, then it's going to look at that, and that's what's going to generate our answer. So there's this other option that's not available right now, and I think it's because this is just the first one. And then, like, as the story progresses, for the current context or the current one that's available, you can actually click on this view context and really get confused, because it kind of shows you the breakdown of what's going on. So I'm going to let's go ahead and do what we said we were gonna do. I thought I did it, but I guess not. So if I say I go into, maybe I deleted it, into the room and turn to Sir, what was his name? Thomas, THOMAS, and say, comma, quote, what is happening? I think I only said that. I don't remember. PPENING. So what is happening with a question mark? And we'll go ahead and run. Oh, I did a C. Dang it. That was not good. That's it. I went into the room. Luckily, those are free because, yeah. So I can change. Oh, man. I have to type that again, don't I? Yes, I do. Wait. He opens it. You step inside the small room. Oh, I already went in. How about as... Oh, I wanted to show you this as well anyway. So as you can see here, we have do, say, story, and see. If you're a super fast typer, which I'm not, and you don't like taking your hand off the keyboard to grab the mouse and stuff, and say we're on C or whatever, you can actually use slash commands and do slash do, and it'll move you to that, or slash say, and it'll move you to that, and slash story, and it'll move you to that. Like I said, I'm not a very fast typer. So I'm going to say as I go into the room, I turn to Sir Thomas and say, what is happening? And I'm going to stick a question mark in there. All right, so you can also see that this now has a little running man symbol. That's a do. The say is a little speech bubble. And the story is a little paper airplane. So if you're paying attention, you can actually see what you're doing. I don't pay attention. So if we click the little running man, or enter in this case, we will generate a portion of the story. And this is where I'm going to show you. So as you can see, we have a do action, and it is telling us what we typed. And now it's going to, the AI is going to take what we typed and kind of turn it into part of the story. So Sir Thomas closes the door behind you. That was kind of rude. He didn't answer me, I guess. And turns the key in the lock. Princess Camille. I fear the worst. Spies have infiltrated the castle. The outer wall was breached by a surprise attack, and enemy soldiers are pouring in as we speak. He takes a deep breath, his face grim. King and queen are likely cut off in the throne room by now. I had to make a choice. Risk my life trying to reach them, or secure you to safety. He's kind of a chicken. He's Sir Robin. I am so sorry, my lady. So he's just locking me in this room. Shouldn't we be escaping or something? The knight looks around. The knight looks around the small stone chamber. He shut the doors. There must be a little window there. Furnished with only a narrow bench, a few blankets. This room is meant for dire emergencies. The door is reinforced and the walls are thick. Great, so I'm trapped. Everyone dies out there, I die in here. So what I wanted to show you, if I click on this now, you'll see we actually have an option for view context. And this is like I promised. I made a promise. This is confusing, and I'm pretty sure you'll think this is confusing. So as you can see here, we have some things. So we have the adventure. This is the tokens. So right now we're only using 343 because it's the very beginning of our 2000 tokens. This part right here is the response. So this is the 150 tokens that we've reserved. This is the AI instructions that are all behind the scene. We can go modify those. And I will show you what that does. And then you can also see here that it's talking about the context, upgrading the context and stuff like that by getting an account. You're going to see lots of those, especially if you're free. If we click the details, we can get a little bit more information about those things. So under adventure and memories, we can see that it was able to take everything so far. Nothing's had been purged. We don't have any forgotten memories. We, as you can see, the whole bar is pink. Don't look at this one with this. So the whole bar is pink, saying that everything is good. We don't have, we haven't used any memories, and we don't have any memories stored. So here is where I promise it gets confusing. This will actually show you the tokens in their breakdown. It doesn't give you the numbers. So if we click on action tokens here, you can see this is the text. As you can see, this is the recent stuff that it has. So recent, I'm Camille, blah, blah, blah. And here you can see that I go into the room, turn to Sir Thomas and say what's happening. So this is the adventure part that it has so far. Now, if I click tokens, and I have no idea, I do not understand at all how this breaks it down, but somehow it does. This is the tokens. Each one of these little squares is a token now. So that comma is a token. This space in A is a token. Clamoring is, and a space is a token. However, sometimes we get weird tokens. Like I was thinking, okay, so one word per token, but then we get things like breach, and BR is space BR is a token, and EACH is a token. Maybe it's because each is a word. I don't know. But as we scroll down, we can see that, we get all these tokens, like he reduces. Do I understand? No, not at all. And I've even clicked this, and it even gets more confusing. So if I click this, it's going to open up a new page. And here you can see, here is a message. And I'm going to actually go and grab my message to show you how it breaks it down, I guess. So I'm going to hit Control-C right there. Then we're going to go back into this tokenizer thing. And I'm going to set this as my message. Do I understand it? Not at all. But here you can actually see, oh look, 16842 is apparently a question mark and quotation marks or something. As is 2305. So yeah, I don't understand this in any shape, way, or form. If you guys do, hey, more power to you. So that's what it's talking about, the tokens. Like I said, right now, don't have a lot of story. We're only sending 343. You can also look at explored memories. We don't have any right now, so it'll kind of be blank. But you can look at the timeline, the relevance, and see things that are unused. If we scroll down further, we can see those AI instructions. And this is kind of what I wanted to point out. So AI instructions, we can actually create specific AI instructions and say, you know, that I want the story to be able to lull. One thing I've noticed a lot with this is that a lot of times it's back to back to back to back action, and you know, you don't get a chance to develop any character, what's the word I'm looking for? Character development, I guess, or world lore or anything like that. So I found, and it seems to actually work pretty good, a thing that you can actually put into your AI instructions that will actually do that. But I wanted to quickly show you. So this little chunk right here is the AI instructions. You can see we're using 103 tokens. And this is the default AI instructions. So you're a dungeon master telling a story, provides any kind of game, role-playing, and story content. And here's the instructions of the AI content. So be specific, literal, concrete, creative, grounded, and clear. Continue the text where it ended without repeating. Doesn't always do that. Always, avoid reusing themes, sentences, dialogues, or descriptions. Continue unfinished sentences. This little arrow thing means an action attempt. It is forbidden to output the little caret guy, I guess, or the greater than symbol, and show realistic consequences. So that's probably the part that says, yes, you can die. So this, also broken down into tokens, is sent along with your other things. Kind of like if you imagine it's a package, and I'm putting all these tokens in there in order, obviously. And the AI gets it, unpacks it, here's its instructions, and then it looks at the adventure part, and then it generates its thing after. And then we have the response buffer, which is 150 tokens, which we set in that setting. That simply just says that. If we want to view the complete text of what is being sent, you can see that we have our AI instruction, and then we have the recent story, and then we have our last thing that we actually did. So, yeah, was that clear as day? I hope so. So, if we wanted to add our own AI instruction, which we're going to do really quick, you click on this add plot component, and in here you can see you have AI instructions, you have story summary, you have plot essentials, you have author's note, and you actually have third person, where that's not really a box that kind of pops up that you can add words and stuff. It actually is more of kind of a toggle. Like if I click on that, you can see it's more of a toggle saying say do in third person, and the input is now on for third person. I don't use that one, to be honest, so I'll just delete that one. But let's go look at AI instructions. So if I go into AI instructions, you'll see that right now we have custom because we clicked AI instruction. But if I wanted to go to the default model, which is our model default there, you'll see everything that we just saw up there is, in the thing is actually being passed behind the scenes. But if I wanted to modify it, what I would do is come in here, for example, and let's say I don't want lulls in the story. And you'll notice every time I make any changes in here, it kind of thinks about the story and it goes and makes sure that it's working right. So I'm going to stick in this sentence that I have, so you don't have to watch me type it, that says the story does not need to have back-to-back action. Lulls in action can be used for character development and world building. Bam! Did you see how fast I typed that? So now what the AI is going to do is every single time I click continue or the take turn type action or the retry, it's going to, first it always sends this AI instruction. And I believe it was 300 before, right? We're going to go look at that after our next thing because it'll be a little bit larger because now we have that. So you'll also notice that it changed from from the default one to custom, and that's because we've changed something. You can delete this. You can, if you wanted to say, be random or whatever, be confusing, you can actually do that in here. This is what the AI needs to look at to say, hey, what am I supposed to be doing? So we have AI instruction. The only other real ones I've ever used is pretty much plot essentials. This is really good to keep information about yourself and specific things about the plot itself. And then author's note, mostly these are about when they actually get sent to the AI. So AI instructions is sent first, and your adventure and plot essentials is kind of set somewhere in the middle. And from what I understand, the author's note is sent at the end. The story summary I've never actually really done anything with, and we just looked at third person. So I have some notes here. I just wanted to quickly just say, make sure I covered the things I wanted about those things. So AI instructions can be used to tell the AI how to generate responses during your game. So that's what we've done there. Memories are also, that's plot essentials is what memory, it used to be called memories, now it's called plot essentials. And memories can be used to increase the AI's accuracy during gameplay. This text is sent to the AI before every player input to keep it informed about the most important aspects of your game. You should include details about unique and relevant parts of your player's character and their immediate companions. The story's settings, or other or other overarching story points that aren't always mentioned but are always relevant. And then the author's note is, author's note can be used to give AI details about the story genre, your preferred writing style or overall tone. This text is sent to the AI towards the end of every player's input to keep it informed about how it should generate a response. Our recommendation is to keep the author's notes short, no more than 3 to 4 sentences, and only focus on a couple key instructions about your story's theme and setting that you want the AI to follow. And then the other thing is story cards, which I'm just going to read and then we'll kind of go over them. Story cards give the AI some broader world building details that are only included when keywords are used. So the story cards will actually be something that's triggered based off of keywords. So that in a nutshell should help you with that. All right, so we're going to also create those other two. So we're going to go ahead and create the plot essentials. And you can see here, it actually gives you a quick thing. This is enter information about the adventure. The AI will always use this when generating new response. Now, the way I've seen it generate these, where people are actually generating them automatically, it seems to put like double brackets, kind of like that. And then I've seen it say things like, you are Camille, You are Camille, and maybe let's give us a last name of, oh, I don't know, Camille. I can't think. So you are Camille, a, let's say, 18-year-old female, female princess. Now it also said keep your companions, so I would assume it's saying, you know, if I end up getting a traveling companion, maybe I would put theirs in other brackets. But this is just a comma separated list. You just want to, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect sentences or anything. I have seen it where it has been, but once again, you're kind of trying to use as little space as possible. So using it like this to tell me this, to get the information, is probably fine. Probably don't need to go into details about hair color, eye color, or anything like that, unless it's relative, just because, yeah, that's going to pass that information every single time and take up my tokens. Let's go look at the author's note now. We'll go ahead and add that. So this is where you can actually kind of direct the AI. I want you to speak in, you know, Victorian language, you know. So where it says this, maybe we could even use this. Oh, I can't. So maybe let's have it talk Shakespearean. So I'm not going to remember all that stuff. Actually, it might be here as well. Let me check real quick. Let's see. What should I say? Use Shakespearean writing style in your language. Maybe something like that. Use S-H-A, how do you spell Shakespearean? Maybe I did a wrong one. S-H-A-K-E-S-P-E-R-I-A-N, maybe? No. Spokesperson, crap. S-H-A-K, Shakespearean. All right, I'm going to have to go to Google and find out how to spell Shakespearean. S-H-A-K-E-S-P-E-A-R-E. Shakespeare. There we go. And maybe an N at the end, right? I'm going to close that. Shakespeare. Ian, hopefully. Nope, it doesn't like that. Use Shakespeare apostrophe. Isn't that how? That's how it said to spell it, right? Oh, it's probably because uppercase. All right, now let's do an N. Oh, wrong place. Oh, poop. How about Shakespeare I-N? No, I'm just going to leave it Shakespeare. E, right? Is that how it was spelled? Okay, good. Shakespeare, and then apostrophe S, W-R-I-T, writing, S-T-Y, style and language, maybe? That should make this very hard to understand, at least for me. So we have that. Then we have our story cards, which are, like I said, and I'm not sure why it does this sometimes, but sometimes you lose the little bar at the top. Hopefully they fix that, because I don't know. The only way I know to get it back is click exit and come back into our game. And you'll notice here now it's on our front page, and it actually is the name we gave it. It's set to private. We've done 2 actions. Oh, we're out of time too. All right, so now we have those up here again. So story cards, we're going to go into those probably a little later, because they actually have quite a bit of depth to them as well. And how I use the plot essentials and the story cards to kind of limit things. So let's go ahead, now that we've done that, let's see if we get some Shakespearean confusingness. So I'm just going to hit continue to see what it does. I pray that your parents are safe. Your words tremble, and you clutch your words tremble. You clutch your robe tighter around yourself. But why would anyone attack a peaceful kingdom? What could they possibly hope to gain? Sir Thomas sighs heavily. His hands. This doesn't sound very Shakespearean. Not that I even know that that's a word. Sir Thomas sighs heavily, his hands resting on the hilt of his sword. Larian's wealth and strategic position have made us a great target. Made us a target for years, my lady. Oh, that's totally Shakespearean. I don't know. The neighboring kingdoms of Adonia and Blackwood have long coveted our trade routes and mines, but I never thought they'd be so bold as to attack directly. Let's see. I can't remember what it said before. I might look into that because I kind of want to see how. I'm terrible with Shakespeare, so I'd really like to see if it gets super hard to understand. So I think this is actually a good stopping point. We're at 26 minutes. So yeah, I think this is a good stopping point. In the next episode, we will probably continue our story a little bit more and maybe do a little bit of story cards. But we got to actually get it to get far enough that it merits story cards. And hopefully where I can show you signs that a story card is definitely something you might want. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Aside from that, comment, like, and subscribe. Click that little notification bell. Join my Discord channel. Tell other people about my channel. And that is it, my friends. Yeah, that's it. Until next time, I'll be seeing you later. Bye.